Listen to that sound system. It is maiden day of the T6A Texan 2 from Gator-Rc. This is a Seagull's model aircraft. We're just going to go ahead and do a couple trimming passes and start trying to figure out the flap deflections and see how they are for landing, since there was no settings for those. But we're on, we'll use low rates for takeoff, and we'll get the gear up. No flaps on takeoff. Let's power this baby up. So up, down, left, right aileron, left aileron. I don't anticipate this is running off a Power 90 E-Flight, guys, on 8S. We're pulling about 17.5 pounds of static thrust. I will give you all the specs again at the end in the description. So we're on low rates. And again, we're just going to go up, trim it out, and then start getting ready to make sure we can land this thing. So away we go. Going up, left to right. She gets off the ground quick. Try and keep it out of the sun. Slight trim of aileron, like one click. Really smooth flying right out of the gate. Turns really well. It's a little weird taking off. Put a little rudder in there. We do have quite the crosswind today. That's full. Little down elevator to hold it there. Big loop up. Plenty of power. I'm down Cuban. Aileron roll. I like this. All right, so let's get the gear down and start getting this thing ready to land and see how she behaves. Get down. And I am on a milliamp timer, more so than I am. Look at them nice gear lights underneath. So that does create some drag. She wants the nose down a little bit. That sun couldn't be in a worse spot for me, but let's take it up coming in and put some flaps to it and see how she does. think we're definitely going to need a little expo to it. So that was with takeoff flaps. We're just putzing around now. It's about half throttle. We'll take it up a little higher here and we'll hit fulls. Drop the throttle. So there's landing flaps. I need a good bit of elevator to hold it there. Plenty of power coming out. With even takeoff flaps right there, you need power to keep her up in the air, and that's fine. There's a lot of dirty drag right now. Gear's down, flaps are down. Let's go ahead and see if we can get her lined up for a landing here. The wind's settled down a little bit.
Landing flaps.
Woo, baby, look at that. Yes! Oh, a little bit of a bounce there, guys. We can mix in a little elevator, but God, I'll take that. What a gorgeous flying plane. And I started this project with like not a whole lot of expectations, and the more I put in it is, by God, is that nice. She's a dream, and there's barn doors for flaps. Yeah, baby, look at that. How nice is that thing? All right. How do you like that, Maiden? Hey, anyway, so flight number 2, we're going to worry about batteries, and we're going to worry about actual flight times. That was just to trim and feel the flaps out and to see how this thing lands. I'm in love. One click of trim to make this thing fly right. This is a perfect model from Seagulls that I picked up from Gator-Rc. You guys got to check them out. Balsa flies better. Now we're going to go back and look from that maiden flight at our Jeti telemetry, which is one of the parts I really like. Here you can see, and we'll flip over to our max throttle. So right there, all right, we are at 100% throttle, and we dipped our battery voltage from 31.7 down to 29. And we're roughly in the 40s as far as a pretty mean average of current draw on this system. And again, it's 130 amp ESC, and the motor can take like 80 or 90 continuous amps. And even at burst, the max amperage draw I'm getting is 70 amps. So if you know your average current draw, and you know that in this pack we're using 5,000 milliamp batteries, you can do the math and actually predict fairly close what you're getting for flight times. So we're going to do flight number 2, get this thing back up in the air and try and put some more time on it and check them batteries and the actual timer. Alright guys, this is flight number 2. We're going to go ahead and go up here with half flaps, takeoff flaps, this time with a little bit of up elevator mixed in, roughly around 2%, and give that a shot. Last time power on takeoff was really, really good. I didn't goose it. We just slowly accelerated into it, and it came up pretty quick. So away we go.
These lights look good.
And the goal this time is we're going to go ahead and see what we can get out of this flight time. Again, we'll try and keep it out of the sun the best we can. Listen to that sound system. The power on this is really as much as you want. No issues with power at all. It does have a little bit of up tendency with full power. Next time by, we'll slow it down and see what we can get at the crawl. It's about quarter right there. I like the throws. The servos are doing really, really well as far as holding this thing and pulling out of dives and stuff. Full flaps. Nice, nice. Slows down really, really well. As far as the way it feels when flying, it does feel like it's a 12-pound aircraft. For me, you have to keep some of the power in it. Really bad crosswind here today, but we wanted to get this in, so go up, split S, cut the power back a little bit. See if we can kind of give it a show pass here a little bit, watch them trees. You could fly this thing in a pretty tight space. Wind-wise, we're about 15-mile-an-hour winds, 12 to 15. I'd say the plane handles them pretty well. That's the nice part about having a little bit of a heavier plane. Give you a full speed pass here. Really responsive and locked in. Full power run right there. Not lacking at all. Super happy I went with 8S in this. Again, we're pulling about 17.5 static pounds of thrust. We'll pull it inverted over here and see how it does. That wasn't bad at all for the first time trying inverted. Not much down elevator pressure was needed, a little bit. Again. Nice big loop, climb. Now I set the timer for this at 7 to 8 minutes, but we also have a capacity alarm. So I'm kind of going off of capacity more than anything. And so far it looks like I've only used 2,600 milliamps of capacity out of 36. Look how locked in that is. How nice. Roll to the left.
1 minute.
Nice. Nice and symmetrical. Roll it up to the right. Nice and symmetrical. Thing flies great. And we're flying most of this flight a little over half throttle. Big power moves will go to full, but
30 seconds.
all right, we're not going to push it too long. We're only over 300 milliamps, but we've flown for 8 minutes. So why don't we start to get some gear down, start to put some flap in it.
Takeoff flaps.
So on base, takeoff flaps, make the turn, start to back out some power.
Landing flaps.
Landing flaps, we're about a little over quarter right now, almost half. Now we'll start to cut it above them trees. You can see the crosswind really pulling it. Yeah, she's not greasy yet, guys, but we'll get her there. I like it. Flaps up. Look at them lights. How nice is that? Turbine shutdown, baby. Flight number 2 in the books. So we're gonna stop right here, and we are roughly, let's look. So time-wise we are 8.5 minutes on that flight, and let's go check some batteries. So 8.5 minutes of full flying time here. Let's go ahead and check the cells and see what we get. So 25% left, so 374s, 372, 375, 375, so 25%. So my timer where we are is can go up definitely to 8.5 minutes. And then obviously we're using the milliamp usage telemetry out of the Jeti. Hopefully you guys can see that. But that thing is the most accurate you're going to get for when you need to land. But realistically, on this power setup, you're easily getting 9 minutes of flight time. That is amazing. And electric, we can fly this stuff first thing in the morning at any event, and we're not waking anybody up. And you can easily just disconnect the sound system so that way it doesn't make any noise at all. Love this plane, love it, love it, love it. And there you have it, guys. That wraps up the Maiden of the T6A Texan 2 that I picked up from Gator-Rc. This is a Seagull models balsa ARF. The equipment that I put in this thing, again, we are running the Jeti DS12 guidance system in this with a Rex 10 receiver. We're running the E-Flite Power 90 that I picked up from Gator as well. The ESC is a Maiden Light 130. We are using the King Max servos from Gator-Rc throughout the whole plane, the 5514s. Those things, again, boost a really, really fast speed to them, but they also put out 184 inch-ounces of torque, and they flew this plane really, really well. I'm happy that I chose those things. They are a nice mid-level servo that are perfect for all of these balsa ARFs. Very quick. You get a little bit of that digital noise from them during operation here, but they center really well. They definitely have a nice fine resolution hold. In the back, on the elevator, you can see the same thing. Little bit of chatter there, but that's a big elevator with a lot of weight sitting on that thing, so digitals, you'll get that. And then our rudder surface. This plane in itself is genuine Aura covering. It has a 63-inch wingspan, mechanical retracts, and I'm running a 3-blade 1610 prop on this thing. Plane flew phenomenal, needed just a couple clicks of rudder and 1 click of elevator to get the thing off the ground and flying nice and trim and level. And we are dealing with 20-degree temperatures today. It is cold out and a very heavy crosswind. So we are using the OptiGuard battery backup system in this as well. And let's not forget the super cool lighting kit that I put in this from Dave's RC Electronics, link above. You can check him out, as well as links in the description. And let's not forget the amazing sound of this plane. It sounds really cool, and we can thank MrRCSound.com for that one. Again, aircraft and just about all the supplies for this thing I was able to pick up through www.gator-rc.com. You can go there and check out a whole line of balsa ARFs if you're interested. I really do. I firmly believe balsa flies better. This thing was locked in from the gate. The landing speed is nice. The flaps and the measurements I'll put down below. We are going to mix in a little up elevator with both takeoff and landing flaps, and we'll start to use those things more as well. But 63-inch wingspan on this thing. It finished in at 12.5 pounds with all the extra things that I put in here. And max, we were pulling max amperage on full speed burst of 70 amps. And again, 5,000 packs, and we are running an 8S system in this thing, but it was amazing in landing and flying, has plenty of power. No doubt this is going to be an aircraft I am going to love to fly for a very long time. So it is super cool you guys joined me along the build. If you didn't, it's up there. Check that stuff out. Lots of tips and tricks to help you build balsa ARFs. I've been doing it for a long time. Absolutely love them, and I found a great place over there at Gator to pick some up. So thanks again for joining me. You guys are just plain crazy for always watching. I appreciate it. Happy flights. Peace out.